Okay, so welcome to American Federal Government. My name is Mr. Brennan, and I'll be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. This is a condensed course, which I was not aware of that until just a few minutes ago as I'm preparing for my classes, so I had to redo everything. But anyways, yeah, 8 weeks is going to be really condensed to try to fit this all in, and in fact, it's impossible to fit it all in, so I had to cut a few chapters. Which in a way that works better for you. You won't have quite as much work to do as a traditional 16-week course, because I just found no way to get 15 chapters in. I think I had 11 chapters, something like that. It's in the syllabus. Speaking of the syllabus, that's the first thing you want to do is go to, well, if you're watching this, you should have found it by now, and that is Welcome. Go to Welcome, and there you'll find the syllabus, and you really need to print that up because there's a schedule. And I try to keep things very simple in that that doesn't mean easy, but it means straightforward, so that each week you have 2 chapters. Now, in a traditional 16-week course, it's 1, but you guys have to do 2 every week. That's a lot of work. And what are you going to do? Well, the first thing you're going to do is read those chapters, familiarize yourself with the material. And then you'll have a discussion post, which is really, most of the times it's a formal essay. Sometimes there's a video and you take notes, and then a reflective essay. But when I grade those, I'm checking grammar, I'm checking spelling, because there's no excuse. Organization, with all the tools you have today, it shouldn't be, sloppy work. A lot of people are just doing it on their phone and things like that. And that's, for me, that's, as an instructor, the easiest way. I see something sloppy and I'm just like, well, that's not going to be an A. And then it needs to be reflective. It needs to really put a personal spin on it. I've had a big problem with AI. If I see AI, I'm putting a 0 and sending it back to you to redo. If I suspect it, I'm putting a 0. Sending it back to you. I do not want that. I want personal responses that actually reflect from what you learn from the chapter. And AI can't do that. And I'll know when I see it. For one thing, usually AI, the writing is way up here. And then second, it's usually not pinpoint to the prompt that I've given you. So please don't do that. And then what else do you do besides those 2 discussion posts? You do a weekly reading quiz. You have 1 hour to complete those, and you're going to do 2 chapters because it's a condensed course. So you do 2 quizzes each week. And in 1 hour, you will not have time to look up all of the answers unless you're really speedy. So you'll, that's why you read the chapter, because you need to be familiar with it. That way you'll probably be able to answer relatively sure, at least half the questions or so or more. And then there's some you'll be like, I'm not so sure about this one. And so then you can look those up. And so of course you're going to use your book on that, and that's fine. In addition to that, you have a midterm and a final. Each of those is worth 100 points. And then you're going to write a letter to the editor at some point in the semester, and a letter to an elected official. Those are each worth 25 points for a grand total of 800 points. And if you get 90% of 800 points, that's an A, and so forth. That scale is in the syllabus. And that's it. That's how the class works. Next week, I'm going to try to open up all of the assignments so you can work ahead if you want to. But there are deadlines. So, the first 2, I think, in fact, the first 4 chapters, I think I have due February 3rd, because we have people joining the class and stuff. But thereafter, there's 2 chapters due every week. And if you miss a deadline, then you're going to get a 0. I mean, I'm not going back and opening things up. I do give you 25 points at the end of the semester, the condensed semester, for technical glitches. So if you ended up getting closed out or something like that, then if it happens just once, you'll be okay, because I just give 25 points because those things happen. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward on how all that works, I hope. And of course, if you have questions, email me. That's what I'm here for, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have regarding the material or anything else. Finally, as for American federal government, I do hope you take this class very seriously. Of course, I'm sure all instructors are going to tell you that, but every student in every college throughout the entire United States of America is required to take this class. Why? This class is the most important class on campus, and it's the most important class in the country, because if we do not have an informed electorate, then our democracy fails. Most of you, I have a lot of concurrent students, so not all of you are 18. Soon you'll be turning 18, and you need to vote. And when you vote, you need to make educated decisions. And you can only do that if you know about our American federal government. And you can only do that if you know how to process information from the media. And there's so much misinformation as people get news from cable news outlets, YouTube, TikTok, and it is startling the amount of ignorance that's out there with regards to political information. And I think it is very detrimental to our country. And we've seen this again and again as people cast voting decisions based on things that simply are not true. As you'll find out, chief among those is the 2020 election was stolen, which it was not, any more than the 2016 or 2024 election, and so forth. So that's why this job is so important, and I sometimes feel like we're failing in that job. So that's why I'll take this class seriously, and I hope that you do as well. So welcome to class. Feel free to email me any questions you have, and let's get started.